Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you become part of our makeup family, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. Today's video is all about another foundation review. Foundation review just in time for Foundation Friday, and it is this new powder foundation from e.l.f. This launched a few days ago on the Ulta Beauty website, and to my knowledge, that is the only place where you can pick up this new powder foundation. Now, e.l.f. did say over on their Instagram that there are 30 shades to start off with. I think that's amazing, especially for a drugstore brand to be releasing that many shades in a foundation. Way to go, e.l.f. The shade that I picked up is 210N, which is neutral, and this is it right here. This would not have been my first shade choice, to be honest. Now, when Ulta Beauty launched this on their website, they indicated there were 12 different shades, but there's only like 5 shades that are available. The rest say out of stock. So this was the lightest shade that was available, and I am wearing it right now. You can kind of see right here the shade difference from my neck to my face. We're just going with it, guys. I'm doing a 2-day, 10-hour wear test with this powder foundation. I was so excited to pick it up and try it out for you guys. It does come with a sponge that I've clearly used already. This is actually day 2, towards the end of day 2 when I am filming this intro. So if you like the way my makeup looks, then you're probably going to want to stay tuned to see all of the details and how this new one from e.l.f. wears. But before we dive into all of that, let me give you guys some details about this new powder foundation. It says Camo Powder Foundation. I think that is the technical name of this product. It retails for $11, and in here you are getting how much product? You're getting 0.28 ounces or 8 grams of product. Now, e.l.f. did say that they're going to be selling the sponges in a multi-pack, so that should be coming probably when the powder foundation is more widely available. I do think that e.l.f. plans to send this to all of their retailers. To my knowledge, it's not even available on the e.l.f. website yet. It's just a few select shades that are available right now on Ulta's website, but it says that this is a primer-infused pressed powder foundation that's going to deliver buildable coverage with an airbrushed finish. Now, it says this is going to be a long wearing, medium to full coverage, and it's going to keep our skin shine free and even out the complexion. Now, it says it's good for all skin types, but in particular, those who need help with a bit of oil control, like myself. I am normal to oily, but oily in my T-zone, my nose specifically. It is non-comedogenic, cruelty-free. Now, it says it's formulated without talc, without phthalates, without parabens, without triclosan, without trichloroben. I don't know. There's a few other words in here that I don't even want to try pronouncing. I will have it linked to Ulta, and you can definitely read on their website what it is formulated without, but it seems to be a pretty clean product. Again, it retails for $11. Ulta has 12 options available. They are not all in stock, and e.l.f. did say that there are 30 shades to start off with. Again, I think that's fantastic. So I'm definitely looking forward to its full launch. That way everybody can find their correct shade, and hopefully this will work for a lot of you out there. Now, if it is your first time on my channel, I want to just give you a brief background on my skin type and what I look for in a foundation. First and foremost, welcome to my channel. I hope you've been enjoying my content, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you become part of the family, so be sure to click on that subscribe button before you head out. Now, I am 39 years old, and like I just mentioned, I do have normal to oily skin, oily primarily in my T-zone. I prefer foundations that are gonna provide like a natural finish, even kind of, you know, a dewy finish. I want that nice, healthy glow to my skin, and I go more for medium to full coverage foundations, but I am not opposed to trying sheer, lightweight skin tints. Lord knows I have been trying so many skin tints lately, and I've definitely found some good ones. I found some not so good ones, but guys, foundation reviews is one of my most favorite things to do here on my channel. So if you're new, you're definitely not gonna find a lack of foundation content here on my channel. There's a lot to choose from, and especially this past week, I think I have done 5 foundation reviews lately, so I'm just in heaven right now. Now, I don't normally gravitate towards a powder foundation, but I'm not opposed to trying it out. Somehow I think that a powder foundation is gonna wear better under a mask just because you can reapply it as you need it. And for the most part, you can't really reapply or touch up your liquid foundation, especially if you've already gone in with powder on top of it. That is a surefire way for it to get cakey. So I do wear a mask for a good 7 to 8 hours a day, and while I normally don't always wear foundation under my mask, I mean, all this week I've been trying new foundations, so I thought this would be a great time to see if this is something that's going to work well and if it's going to transfer and whatnot under a mask, because I know you guys are probably wondering about that as well. So this is going to be a 2-day, 10-hour wear test. On day 1, I will be wearing this by itself, just the powder foundation and a little concealer under my eye area, but that's it. And then on day 2, I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna change it up because I know some of you will wear a powder foundation on top of your liquid foundation. So that's actually what I have going on over here. And then on this side, I did my spot concealing and then I applied the powder foundation. I did go in with a primer, a setting spray, all of that good stuff. So I'm excited for this new e.l.f. Camo CC Pressed Powder Foundation, and I hope you guys are too. If you want to see how this 2-day, 10-hour wear test goes, keep on watching. All right, guys, I am so excited for this new powder foundation from e.l.f., the Camo Powder Foundation. Once again, I'm going to be going in with the only shade I was able to pick up. This is the shade Light 210N, so it does have a neutral undertone. I swatched it last night, and it actually swatched really well on my arm. I really couldn't even tell where I had placed it. So I'm thinking this is going to be okay for me. So first I want to do a little under eye concealer today. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. The shade I have is called Fair Warm. Now today I don't want to try doing like any spot concealing. I just want to see what kind of coverage we're going to get from the foundation by itself. Tomorrow I'm kind of thinking that I'm gonna do maybe concealer, just like spot concealer on one side, and then on the other side do like maybe like a light foundation, a light to medium foundation, because I know some of you will use a powder foundation as like your setting powder on top of your regular foundation. Like it's just extra super duper coverage, you know what I mean? Like it just really helps to lock in the look. So I definitely want to try it, you know, several different ways so that you can see what might work best for you and your regular makeup routine. A little bit of this concealer goes a long way. I think I definitely put way too much on, but let me just try and sheer it out some. Now, once again, I do not have primer on and I'm not going to be applying setting spray today. So we're just going to go in with this powder foundation on its own. Now it does come with a little sponge and they're going to be selling little like 3, 4, 5 packs of these really soon. That way you can buy some more refills for it. But I'm going to be applying this using the sponge and using my BK Beauty 106 buffing brush. So let's go in first with the sponge. Okay, so that is definitely coverage. Here it looks too dark. Now that I'm applying it to my face, well, let's see. Let's see what I can do with this. The last powder foundation I purchased was the Fenty one. And I want to say I got the shade 150 in that one. I'll do most definitely some swatch comparisons. You'll see that right after the application portion. Yeah, it's definitely too dark for me right now. I can definitely see myself using this in the summer. I think it'll be perfect. But this was the only shade they had in stock, like that would be close to my skin tone. It was really weird, really random, the shades that Ulta had in stock. Okay, it's going on pretty easily. I haven't taken like an up close look. I'm a little far away from the mirror, but I'll look at it right now. Maybe I'll wear a turtleneck today. Okay, so let me take a closer look. Oh, that looks nice. It looks really smoothing. Minus the shade, but it looks pretty nice. Good coverage. This does say it's going to be a semi-matte finish with medium to full coverage. Now I'm going to take the BK Beauty 106 brush. I'm just going to start buffing this in. Okay, so I definitely think the brush kind of helps to blend it in a little bit more. And it doesn't look as dark on this side as it does on this side. And I typically like to use a foundation brush when I apply powder foundation. I just think it blends the product better. And it's not like sitting on top of the skin, like it's absorbing into the skin, although it didn't look like it was sitting on top on this side of the sponge. This is the area where I like to build up coverage, so that's why I'm focusing it right here. And do a little bit on this side. Okay, so now let me take a closer look. Wow. My skin looks airbrushed. Looks nice. And I don't know if maybe the coverage is coming just because it's a darker shade. I'm going to be anxious to get a lighter shade once this becomes more widely available. This was like a really soft launch for this product. That's why Ulta only has 13 shades, but there's only like 4 in stock. They didn't like make all the shades available. I mean, the shade's not that bad, but yeah, you can see, you know, the difference up here. It looks really nice. It really does look nice. It feels lightweight. It does say to reapply this as needed throughout the day. So I'm not going to take the brush with me, but I'm going to put the sponge back in here. I do wear a mask pretty much all day that I'm at work. And I'm fixing to go into work right now. So this is how my base is going to stay. I'm not going to add any blush, bronzer, or highlighter. I will do brows and mascara, maybe a little bit of, I just do lip balm at work. And I'll give you the midday check-in. We'll see how it's wearing during my lunch break. And of course, when I get home from work, we'll wrap up this day 1 wear test. And we'll see. I might do a touch-up maybe during the lunch hour if I feel anything has rubbed off on my nose, like from the mask. But if not, I want to try doing a touch-up at least before we end this day 1 wear test. So if not during lunch, then when I get home from work, just to see how it's going to go, like how it's going to look when you indeed do touch it up. So I like it. I'm very impressed. I'm very shocked, but we'll see how it's looking in 5 hours. So I'll see you all then. Hey guys, this is a 5-hour check-in with this new e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. How do you think my skin looks? Why do I feel I look like I have a little oil starting to come through? Do I look shiny? I feel like I look shiny on my nose and on my forehead. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the day what it looks like, but I think it's holding up really well under the mask. I do see a little bit of rub off like right here on the tip of my nose. Now it does say to carry it with you to touch up throughout the day, but I'm going to wait and touch up when I get home. I don't have a tripod here at work, so it's kind of hard to do it with one hand, but the coverage is there. I mean, and the shade doesn't look terrible, right?
I like it. So far, I like it. And I have a feeling like if I was to do maybe a mattifying primer underneath and then just do this on top, I think it might work a little bit better. I don't know. We'll find that out tomorrow. But so far, so good. Like I feel like I have really good coverage and my skin looks really smooth. So aside from the shiny part, I think it's doing pretty well. But I'll definitely make that call at the end of the day once I get home from work. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we've come to the end of this day one wear test 10 hours later with this new e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. And this is what my complexion is looking like. Now, I think from a distance, it looks pretty good. But when you get up close, you can definitely see where it's come off on my nose. And it is starting to break apart right in here, as well as in the center of my forehead and, of course, around my mouth. I don't think I got too oily. Like, I don't think it looks really different from the 5-hour check-in to the 10-hour check-in. So that's pretty good. It has good coverage and the coverage stayed all day and it feels good. Like it doesn't feel like I have like, you know, a really thick foundation on or anything like that. Like it's really very comfortable and I'm pleasantly surprised. Like, does it look the greatest? No, but does it look the worst? Absolutely not. I think it held up pretty well for being a powder foundation. For wearing a mask, I have my mask right here and this one has a white interior. You can definitely see where the rub off is. This is the top of the mask and then the bottom right here. And if you're wondering about these masks, I get them on Amazon. I'll have them linked. There's like 4 or 5 different colors and they're really cool, really cute. But this is what my mask looks like. So you can clearly see that it has transferred onto the mask, which, you know, it's makeup. It's supposed to do that. That really doesn't bother me. And it did say that you can touch it up. So that's what I want to do right now. I want to try touching it up because I'm actually fixing to start my Pat McGrath Bridgerton video. Oh my goodness, that collection just arrived. So I'm going to be wearing the e.l.f. Camo foundation in that video. So if you're wondering what I'm wearing on my face, the powder foundation is going to be one of them. But let me go ahead and grab the foundation. That way we can do a quick touch up here on camera and you can see how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to add some right here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit for my nose. All right, now let me take a look. It looks okay. It kind of, like right here, it kind of made it look a little cakey. I mean, but not bad. I think it took some of the shininess down a bit. And it definitely added more coverage. So yes, I can see where maybe this would be good for touch-ups. And actually, I think this might be good if you are wearing a mask because I think it's a lot easier to touch up powder than it would be to touch up like a liquid foundation. So this might be an option for some of you who have to wear a mask all day like me and who still want to wear a foundation. Then maybe a powder foundation might be your best bet. But I'm going to be very anxious to see how this does tomorrow. And I will be filming the application portion for tomorrow because I'm gonna try wearing foundation on one side and then concealer on the other, and then of course the powder foundation on top. So we'll see how all that goes. Very curious, very interested in this one. So I will check in with you guys in the morning.
All right, guys, so this is day 2, and I am going to be wearing a primer, and I chose this one. This is the Acne Fighting Putty Primer. This is my favorite from the e.l.f. Putty Primer line. It's smoothing while still being hydrating while not being greasy. I had no idea that, or no thoughts, I guess, to pick this up, and it wasn't until I saw a couple of my friends here on YouTube who some have acne and some don't. They really loved this primer and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot, and I love it. Okay, so on one side of my face, I'm gonna go in with like a skin tint, and I'm gonna use this one from LA Girl. This is their tinted foundation. I have 2 shades in this, but I went for the darker shade just because this powder is darker, and I'm gonna be using warm beige. So I'll do that on the right side. And then on the left side, I'm going to just spot conceal, do some under eye concealer. And the one I chose is this one from Lancome. This is one of my favorites, the Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer, and I have the shade 110 in this one. And I'll be using my BK Beauty 101 brush to apply the skin tint. Guys, I'm just gonna do the skin tint all over my nose, just because it's gonna be hard to do half and half. Okay, so this is the skin tint. I think it looks really nice, very light coverage. So I can see we're going in with a powder foundation on top of this. Would really help to just lock everything in and also add that extra bit of coverage. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a Lancome concealer. I'm gonna be using this under both under eye areas. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the concealer right here. This is where I would normally spot conceal. And this is typically the way you would wear a powder foundation. You would, of course, want to go in with your liquid or cream products first, and then you apply the powder on top. I'm gonna add a little bit right here to my chin. I guess a little bit on my forehead. Okay. Concealer, skin tint, let's start applying the powder. Now I liked the way the brush applied. Again, I'm going to be using the BK Beauty 106. I cannot wait to try another shade in this. I mean, I think it looks nice, but it is a bit too dark for me. Okay, so this is one side done. Let me take a closer look. Well, that went over the skin tint just fine. It didn't move it around, it didn't lift it, it didn't cause any cakiness. I am gonna do a separate under eye setting powder. I think I have the Pat McGrath one here, so I'll add that in a second. But that looks really nice. It looks almost the same as it did yesterday without anything underneath it. But good coverage. This is providing really good coverage. All right, so this went over the concealer just fine. Both sides to me look pretty much identical. Now I am gonna be adding some setting spray. Which one do I have here? I guess I'm gonna go in with Urban Decay All Nighter, but I'll do that in a bit, like after I finish my brows and stuff. But I did wanna add a little bit of under eye setting powder, so let me do that. I did do that yesterday, I just forgot to mention it. All right, guys, so I will be back in a few hours for the midday check-in. And then, of course, at the end of the day, so we can wrap up this 2-day 10-hour wear test on this new e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation.
Hey guys, this is the 5-hour check-in, and this is how my complexion is looking. I don't have any complaints. I think everything looks really good. I have been wearing a mask on and off throughout the day, and I don't really see too much rub off just yet. I like the way my complexion looks. I think it looks really smooth, and that's the one thing I've been noticing about this new one from e.l.f., this new powder foundation, is that the smoothing and blurring effect that it gives to the complexion. So if you're wondering about the eye makeup and the blush, it is the Pat McGrath Bridgerton Collection. You guys have already seen that video. I put it up last night. So that's what I have going on. I will be back, guys, when I get home from work at the end of the day, and we'll wrap up this 2-day 10-hour wear test with this new e.l.f. powder foundation. All right, guys, we've come to the end of this 2-day 10-hour wear test with the new e.l.f. powder foundation, and this is what the complexion is looking like. So this is the side that just has the concealer and the foundation, or the powder foundation. And then this is the side that has the skin tint and the powder foundation. I can tell that like on this side, it kind of settled into my little smile line right here. And it looks a little bit makeup-y, like right around here. just a little bit. I don't think it looks the way it did yesterday. I definitely think it looks better today than it did yesterday. Even like on my forehead, I think I don't really see any of that cakiness that I was starting to see yesterday. I just feel like this side that has the concealer and then the powder foundation, I think it looks smoother. And I don't really see much cakiness going on this side versus this side. I would say, I mean, they're pretty even. I think if you want to pair this with a skin tint or a very lightweight foundation, I think you most definitely could do that. But I think the best way, and I guess the more traditional way to wear a powder foundation, is to do your spot concealing first, do your under eye concealer as well, and then you buff that powder in, powder foundation on top of that. So I really do like the way this side looks over this one. But again, I mean, if you're looking at me here in person, having a conversation with me, you're not going to be able to tell a major difference. It's only when, you know, you're really knowing what to look for. So I like this. I like this powder foundation. I think it did well under the mask. I kind of just touched up a little bit on my nose because I just got done filming the intro about half an hour ago. So this is what it looks like. It did well. I think it did better today under the mask than it did yesterday. And I like it. I like the coverage. It says it's going to provide an airbrush finish, an airbrush look to the skin. I can definitely see that, especially like right in this area where I do have some larger pores, old acne scars, some more texture to my skin. I just think that my skin looks blurred and it looks smooth, and it looked that way yesterday. It looks that way today, and I really love this one from e.l.f. I'm going to be excited to get my correct shade. I mean, I'll definitely still wear this shade. I'll do my best to blend it down here, but yeah, you can definitely tell there's a bit of a difference there. Again, I have 210N. It is too dark for me at the moment. It'll probably be my shade in the summer, but right now I'm going to need to go a little bit lighter. So as soon as I find out when this is going to be more widely available, I will definitely let you guys know and update you all in the community section as well as on my Instagram. But this powder foundation from e.l.f. is getting 2 thumbs up from me. I loved it. I definitely think you should try it out, especially if you are of a normal skin type, a normal oily skin type. I don't know that I want to recommend this to dry skin. I don't know. You let me know. Are any of you out there with dry skin? Does powder foundation work for you? I don't have any experience to draw on with that, so I don't want to recommend this to those of you with dry skin just because I know powders can be tricky for those of you with dry skin, and I don't want to go down that road and say, yes, you can use it when really it might not look good. I can speak for normal. I can speak for oily skin. I think this would be fantastic. If you're full on oily, I would definitely go in with a mattifying primer because I don't think it keeps the oils away all day. I definitely think this is something that you're gonna want to touch up the way we normally do. I mean, most of us, let's be honest, we do touch up our makeup at least once a day. The only reason that I don't during these foundation reviews is because I just want to see how the product is going to wear. I'm testing it out for you. But if this was a normal day, I most definitely would touch up my makeup, and it even does say on the instructions on how to use to keep it with you to touch it up as needed. So hope this review was helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of this wear test? Had you heard about this new powder foundation from e.l.f.? Are you going to be trying it out? Sound off down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water. And I'm going to see you all very soon. Bye.